topic is executive speaking skills with Rosalyn Porter. So before I introduce Rosalyn, let me tell you a little bit about her. Rosalyn Porter founded Better Speaking Skills after more than 20 years in corporate communications as a manager, writer, and editor. Rosalyn is a certified world-class speaking coach for executives, business professionals, and business owners. In 2013, she formed her presentations training company, Better Speaking Skills, to coach, inspire, and speak to women. Rosalyn's message is simple. You can have the power to change, you just need a strategy and a coach. Ms. Porter will explain how to 1. Think of yourself as a rising star. 2. Act like you already have the job that you want. And then 3. Talk in a way that commands respect. You can change the way others think of you, treat you, and talk about you. After Rosalyn's session, you will have the right mindset, game plan, and script to fast forward past mistakes that can keep you from your dream job. Doesn't that sound amazing? Mm-hmm. Yes. So let's give Rosalyn a round of applause.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Have you ever been stuck in a dead-end job? I wasn't expecting that. Me too. If you had seen me 6 years ago, you would have seen a woman who was afraid. I was afraid of losing my job. And if I lost my job, how would I pay my bills? My job situation was awful. I was overworked, tired, and I felt insecure. I knew I was on a short list of employees to be downsized, but I just couldn't find another job quick enough. And then I got the call. Christy from HR wanted to talk to me. I got a pain in the middle of my stomach. Nothing good ever came from a conversation with Christy. I talked to Christy later that day. We went to the dining area and we sat at a small table near a window. And Christy was an older lady who wore her glasses down at her nose and peered over at you when she talked. She reminded me of my 6th grade teacher. We called her Miller the Killer. Well, Rosalyn, you've been at the company for almost 20 years and you qualify for the 1555 retirement plan. Well, what is that? Well, because you're over age 55 and you've been with the company over 15 years, we'd like to offer you a generous retirement package. Well, what's in the package? Well, you get your 401k plan, you'll get your pension, you'll get a $25,000 bonus, and you'll be compensated for all of your unused vacation and sick days. Can I think about it? Yes, you can. Well, I walked back to my office and I thought about it. Well, let me see. I hate my job, my boss hates me. I average like 20 hours of overtime a week, and they want to pay me to leave? I called Christy later that day. I'll take it. I had 3 big problems though. I was too young for Social Security, so I had to get another job. I made too much money for an entry-level job, and there were plenty of those. And the third problem was I I just didn't know what I wanted to do. I joined Toastmasters in 2003, and I love speaking and I love coaching, but I just didn't know how to turn my passion into a career. I spent several months job hunting. I had a couple of interviews, but no job offer. Then I got another call. Hi, Stephanie. How are you? I haven't seen you since our days in Olive Garden marketing. Hi, Roz. I heard you retired from Darden. Yeah, I retired, but I'm frustrated. I keep applying for these writing jobs, but I know that's not my passion. I just feel stuck. Well, Roz, if you could do anything you wanted to do, what would you like to do? Well, I really like speaking and coaching, but I just don't know how to get there from where I am now. I seem like I'm stuck in the same old job pattern, always doing what I've always done. Well, Roz, I had a friend who wanted to be a speaker coach, and she took a training program, and she loves it. Would you like me to send you the link to that program? Oh, yes, thanks, Stephanie. Stephanie sent me the link to the program. That phone call was in March of 2013. Fast forward 5 years. Now I'm a certified world-class speaking coach, and I help business professionals, executives, and business owners speak with passion and power. So how did I get from being stuck in a dead-end job to being a speaker coach? Well, I took Stephanie's advice. I took the speaker training, the speaker coach training, and I invested thousands of dollars in training. And then I opened my own company, Better Speaking Skills, a business communications training company. But the biggest lesson I learned was a lesson that I had forgotten. Has anyone ever seen the movie The Wizard of Oz? Yeah. Do you remember when Dorothy asked Glinda the Good Witch to help her get home? And Glinda said, "You've always had the power, my dear." I always had the power. Once I stopped thinking of myself as being stuck in a dead-end job and realizing I had the power to achieve any goal I wanted to, I just had to find a way. What I learned was that I needed to think, act, and speak like a powerful woman if I wanted to achieve my goals. And guess what? You can too. Today we're going to talk about executive speaking skills. And these skills, if you apply them, will help you increase your income, increase your influence, and tap into your personal power. First, you're going to find out how to speak in a more empowering way. Then you're going to find out how to think like a leader, act like a leader, and speak like a leader. And finally, I'll give you an opportunity to take advantage of a free resource that will help you personalize the tools you pick up today. I've got a question for you. What is the #1 thing that stands between you and achieving your goal? You. I'll give you a hint. It's a 4-letter word.
Fear.
It likes to wander.
Mind.
It can help you solve your problems.
Your mind.
And you're right. Your mind. You've heard the saying, a mind is a terrible thing to waste. Well, a mind is a valuable tool to use if you want to achieve your goals. Think about how you talk to yourself. Your self-image, how you feel about yourself, lays the foundation for how you attain success, respect, or happiness. If you don't think you're worthy of success, respect, or happiness, are you going to fight hard to get it? No. Think about how you talk to yourself. Turn to the second page of your handout. At the top of the page, everyone have a handout? There's the mindset test. And I want you to circle the adjectives that you think describe you both negatively and positively. And after you circled the adjectives you feel best describe you, I want you to pick someone at your table, or if there's 3 people at the table, everyone can share their adjectives and how those adjectives make you feel. And I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to take the test. Has everyone circled their adjectives? Raise your hand if most of the adjectives you circled about yourself were positive. Great. Because the messages that we send ourselves can either do 2 things. They can motivate us to take action that'll move us forward, or there'll be limiting beliefs that'll hold us back. Some limiting beliefs could be, you might tell yourself, I'm not even going to apply for that job. I'll never get it. What's a more empowering message we can say instead of that? I'm going to apply for it anyway. If I don't have all the skills, I'm smart enough to learn what I need to know. We talked about negotiating earlier this morning. You could say, I'm not going to even ask for it because then they're not going to give me more money. Or, now you have the tools, you know how to go and ask for what you want. So it's important what we say to ourselves. We need to give ourselves empowering messages that inspire us to take action. So now you know how to think in a more empowering mindset that'll help you get to where you want to go. But what if I can give you 5 tips that you can use to present yourself with more confidence? Would you be interested? Well, we talked about an inspiring mindset, but actions speak louder than words. And when you stand in front of a group, I think it was mentioned this morning, people start evaluating you before you open your mouth. And they try to figure out if you're credible, believable, trustworthy. And they judge you in 3 ways. 7% of your credibility comes from the words that you say. 38% comes from how you say it, how you use your voice. And I think it was Sarah this morning said 55% of how people judge you as far as your credibility comes from your body language, how you're dressed, how you stand, how you move. So you need to move with confidence and let them know that you're competent. So there are things you should do if you have to give a presentation. You walk up in front of the group and make sure you're standing in the middle of the room so everyone can see you. You want to center yourself, take a deep breath to calm yourself down. Glance at your audience, let them know you're interested in communicating with them, not your notes or your slides. Smile, let them know you're friendly. Stand in the neutral position and then start talking. What's the neutral position? Well, in the middle of your handout, there are 4 steps into finding your neutral position. Your neutral position, you want to stand with your feet slightly apart, your weight evenly distributed on both feet. You don't want to be leaning to the side or with your legs crossed like this. You want to stand like your authority figure, your leader. Your arms should be at your side. And you're not going to raise your arms unless you have to gesture. So that's the neutral position. I'd like someone to come up here and demonstrate the neutral position. Try it out. See if it's comfortable for you. Any volunteers?
Sure, I'll go on.
Come on up. So you're going to stand up and look at your audience. Your arms at your side. Look at your group. So notice where her arms and hands are not. Her arms are not behind her back. They're not on her hips. And they're not what they call in the figure covering herself for protection. Her arms are at her side. If she wants to make a point, she'll raise her hand. Otherwise, they're at her side. Thank you.
Thank you.
So when you're standing up here giving a presentation, where are most people looking? What part of your body are most people looking at? Your face. So there are 2 areas we want to talk about. What are you going to do with your eyes, and what are you going to do with your mouth? When you first get up here, you want to smile at your audience. And then your mouth will be talking most of the time. Your eyes should be making eye contact with your audience. If you have remarks to make, you need to memorize your opening and closing remarks so you have good eye contact with your audience, so they understand that you are here to deliver a message to them. So now we talked about what to do with your eyes and your mouth. Who can tell me 3 things you should not be doing with your hands and arms?
Picking your nails.
Anything?
Don't scratch.
Good point.
Maybe not.
Don't make any kind of noises or click your pen or do anything that's going to distract from your message. So we talked about body language. Do you ever get nervous before you give a presentation? Get anxiety? Well, those are things that can be fixed. The good news is no one was born being a great presenter. Great speakers are made, not born. Some of the most inspiring speakers had to overcome stage fright, anxiety, and nervousness, but they did it, and so can you. All you need is a little training. So one of the things you also need to do is don't say negative things about public speaking. Don't say, I hate public speaking, or I'm an awful presenter. What you want to do is to motivate yourself to get better. Say, I'm not really good at it right now, but I'm going to work on it. Or this is a skill I need to get to management, so I'm going to improve on it. If you want to be a manager, get a promotion, have your own business, you're going to have to give presentations. And you want to project the image of confidence, and you want them to have faith in the words that you say, because whenever you stand up to speak, you're a leader and an expert. And one of the things that can quickly erode your confidence, or the confidence people have in you, is using filler words. And filler words are words like you know, like. They don't add anything to what you're saying, but they take away from you, your value. They make you seem unsure. So if you're not sure if you use filler words too much, there are some tips at the bottom of page 2, 5 ways to stop filler words that you could try. If you've given a presentation, or if you haven't, you can record yourself and then replay the video or the tape, count how many filler words you use, and then practice talking slower or pause. If you want to use a filler word or you think one's coming out, just pause. That makes it easier for your brain to catch up with your mouth. The reason you use filler words is because you're talking faster than you're thinking, and so you know, instead of just pausing and coming up with a word. So when you go home, take the test and see if you use filler words, and if you do, reduce the amount of filler words you use or eradicate them. Now remember that you want to develop certain skills, because you may want to be a manager one day, but you're just a team member or employee right now. So there's 3 things you can do to get more visibility and practice giving presentation skills. First, you can volunteer to make a presentation to your department on something you're well versed in, talented at, a specialty or an expertise that most people don't have, and share that with your team. Or you can volunteer for a company-wide initiative or a project and then deliver the recommendations to your department head or higher-ups. Or you can step outside of the organization if you don't have opportunities inside the organization. You can join community organizations or professional organizations, get in a leadership position, even chair a committee where you'll get a chance to lead a meeting, give a presentation, because you'll get more comfortable doing it. And the best way to learn a new skill is by repetition. The more you do it, the better you'll get. As a speaker, you want to develop skills in a few areas. You want to be a good storyteller, so when you speak, your audience will get emotionally connected to you and your message. You want to be memorable, so people won't forget what you say as soon as you leave the stage. You want to be able to engage with your audience so they know that you're there for them, and you could hold their attention for longer than 1.7 seconds, they said this morning. You want to be able to hold their attention, and you want to project confidence, enthusiasm, and authority, because you are a leader. And so this is what I want to share with you. I mentioned that affirmations were good to say. Every morning I say this affirmation: I will think, act, and speak like there are no roadblocks to my success. I want you to think, act, and speak like you have power, that you are powerful women. You know what? Because you are. Thanks.